Hello, good morning. Right, this is I don't normally do this sort of Facebook stuff. It's all kind of like it happens, it disappears, you move on, nobody cares, nobody notices. But so it's cars I remember when I was a kid. I'm doing it because it's so indicative of the sort of let's not go into it too much. Let's just go over it and we'll do a video. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but we'll do a quick video. So we're talking Ged Newham. Here he is, right? That's not him. It's actually quite funny, really. So what's he got there? So he's got nothing on his profile. So he isn't. I mean, he's not sharing a lot there, is he? You know. So he's keeping himself careful. However, he's an admin of this group. So basically, what it is, she's called it, frequently called the Jelly Mould by many. So that's what he's saying that people call. So it's a Ford Sierra. So I remember the Ford Sierra. I had and hundreds of them. You know, I had 1600, 1800. I had 2 litre. I had double overhead cam. I had Sierra 4x4 estate with 2.9 injection. I had estate 2 litre GL hatch. I had Sapphires. I had 1.8 LX, 1.6. 2 litre GL was a B-Reg. Drove that down to Wales. That was probably a 2 litre carburetor. That was probably a pretty good one, yeah. So a few. That's the first one. The Estate, not a good looking car in my opinion. I think it's the shape of the Estate. Sort of rounded bits, rounded. That was the first early ones. But the buying public was a sort of conservative, small c conservative type people. So they were used to square, like Mark II Cortina and the Granada. They weren't. This was quite a, although it was fairly. It was rear wheel drive. It handled a lot better than the Cortina. I remember that. The cornering was much better. It's actually quite a good car to drive. Some aspects of it, the interior was a bit flimsy. The car, these big bumpers. It wasn't bit. Let me look at that. I'm sort of trying to. There's a 4x4. There's permanent 4-wheel drive. Cosworth. It's at 1.8 GL. So that was a facelift. There's an XR4i. So I think I never actually had a 2 litre injection Sierra with a Pinto engine. That was the one I would, if I was given the opportunity. Well, the 2.3 V6 would be alright. If I was given the opportunity, I would probably go for a 2 litre injection, I suppose, a gear. Of course, the Cosworth was amazing, wasn't it? But I mean, that's probably a bit highly tuned, for everyday driving. I knew somebody that had a Sapphire Cosworth, and he drove like 130 mile an hour everywhere, So this is by Ged Newham, right? So he's pretty anonymous. So there's an announcement. It's from Alum Lane. Ford Sierra announced in UK, was it understood to say that appearance of the car was a surprise to many. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. This will run down of it all. So this is what I said, right? The 1600 E-Max was hopeless and the estates were ugly. Best was 2 litre GL or gear or injection, but best with Pinto 2 litre overhead cam. I didn't like the 2 litre double overhead cam. Fuel economy was very good, but it wasn't very lively. Never drove a Sierra 2.3 V6, but I liked the Cortina 2.3 V6. Generally speaking, Sierra was a bit of a disappointment till the Cosworth and Sapphire were introduced, as then it looked relatively normal. So then this guy comes on, he's the admin, author. So he says, less negativity, please. You could be describing someone's pride and joy or cherished memories. It's like, you know, I mean, is that negative? Really? Is it? Well, I suppose it's partly positive, it's slightly negative. I just get it, like, and then I goes to him, please try and understand that these comments are not negative, they're honest and accurate. You perceive them as negative. And he gives me the angry emoji, you know? Alright, really? So then he goes, it's actually quite funny. He says, in your opinion, maybe you don't understand the ethos of our group. Have a yellow card and cool down for 24 hours. It's not me that's angry, it's him. Look, it's him that needs to cool down, not me. Oh, you're really weird. So he's went and turned off commenting. Is there something wrong with me? I don't think that's necessarily negative. It's like the Moonies, isn't it? It's like you have to go on. It's like the Moonies. You have to go on and say, oh, Sierras were fantastic. You know, it's like really strange. And this from an anonymous man who doesn't really got anything on his Facebook page. You know, so there's had a facelift, so that's okay. So like, the thing that got me is Kim Burns. I had a 2-litre GL. Good, she's a admin, or he, and never let me down in 2 years of driving, despite being 12 years old, with a high mileage when I got it. I admit to hating them, he says, when they came out. The old man was sure Ford would have another Edsel on their hands, as the old man. So he admitted to hating them. Is that negative? It's like weird, isn't it? Strange. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, does it? So he switched off commenting, turned off commenting. This is indicative of what's wrong with this, with everything. You know, talking about cars, and to me, it's like I've always had this problem with like Austin Allegros. They'll say so, it's a horrible car or something. I love the Austin Allegro. I'd like to have one, but it doesn't mean to say it's about your kids, isn't it? I know what's wrong with my kids. Well, that's different. You love your kids, so you know. It's just, people. It's a car. You can comment on it. You know. It's like, this is like Gestapo Ged. That's what we'll call this. You know what, it doesn't really matter, who cares? That's him there. He's giving nothing away. A total fanny. You know, he's ruining this group. It's supposed to be a bit, the ethos, what's the ethos? Oh, my ability to post. That's like fucking school children, isn't it? Oh, he's turned off my ability to post. What a fanny. Never mind, who cares? It doesn't really matter. I mean, there's no point in being you can't even say anything about anything, can you? Fucking fanny. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Right, thanks for watching. Ged Newham, you are a fanny. Absolute fanny. Fucking hell. Doesn't matter, this is a fucking waste of time. It's self-important Facebook maniacs. You know? Never mind. Bye.